my god.
It loaded.
Sucks.
Sorry.
It loaded.
Everyone
that
gets
means
excited.
It is time
studio
for
is like,
some
yes.
Dota 2. We got ourselves, just a recap, IG J.Storm. I know you might have just spaced out a little bit because you were waiting for the draft, but it is here. It has arrived, and it is elimination on the line. So one of these two teams is going to still be bottom 6 or 5th, 6th shared plays, and the other one's going to be top 4 at the MDL Chengdu Major. We're going to find out which one. And I think my panel said that IG was the one that is having an edge here in the matchup, but I don't know after yesterday's loss or win. I mean, they won, but they kind of lost.
Yeah.
That's an emotional thing.
I still have them. I still have it like 65-35. Like I said the other day, I still feel like IG just has. Like overall, they're just a stronger team. Like I think J.Storm is just still a bit newer in comparison to IG, and I think
Fair.
we saw IG when they're at their top form, what they can do. I don't think I've gotten to see J.Storm when they're at their top form. Like I mean, win. Sure, they did great versus TNC, even though they ended up losing the games, but they didn't win the games. IG, they proved themselves already. They won the minor in a very convincing fashion over a team that did beat J.Storm pretty convincingly before.
But have you seen IG's peak? Whereas J.Storm, who knows where their peak is?
That's true.
Yeah, or maybe we've already seen J.Storm's peak.
That's also true. It's not a good peak.
No. If we're going off by the peaks that we've seen from these two teams, IG is the peaker of peaks.
Yes, that is
look
true.
at these bands.
They are one of the 6 mountains that no one has climbed in this area.
Well,
this guy.
I would say that's only true for TNC and Vici at the moment. The rest has already been climbed at least once.
Mirana first pick. We have a CK ban in the first 3, by the way.
Yeah, it's a J.Storm targeted ban for sure.
And I love that. Actually, I love this Conkalina. I feel like that's not only just a steal pick, but it's also it's in their comfort zone, right? I feel like we could look and we could be like, IG would pick those 2 heroes and be super happy because it's very flexible. You can do a lot with it. I'm really liking that opener from J.Storm right now.
Yep, and both of them indeed a nice steal, as we have talked about Kaka and JT on exactly those 2 heroes and them being standout ones for them. Let's see what the answer is for IG.
Can you just pick OD? It's a
Not
little weird.
This early, I don't think.
This early?
It's just because of the thing that happened at TI, where I saw the Mirana ODs and the Kunkka ODs all over the place. Maybe I'm just still like trapped in my head a little bit because of that, but. And we haven't seen it.
I mean, I'm down for it like 2nd or 3rd phase. First phase,
Okay.
I'm not convinced yet. So they go for
Ooh,
a
the Bane.
So Oli and Kaka.
I am so happy we mentioned that.
Yeah.
You know, as one of the heroes that was picked.
Yeah.
But it wasn't actually here. Like, have we seen it since then? No.
There's a lot of cool plays you can do with the Bane, right? You can mess with a lot of the combos, breaking the X. You can block a lot of damage that comes out from things a lot too with that sleep plays, and you're the setup. It's cool. It's a hero that I think has a really high skill cap if you're able to actually do those little type of quick plays. It's a fun one to watch for sure.
This is one of the few drafts that we don't see any 1 positions picked in the first phase. No alchemists, no gyrocopters. Obviously, Void and Morphling are banned.
Yep. And of those 3, I think Gyrocopter is the most odd one out.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess Alchemist has kind of been solved for the most part. People are really liking the AA against it.
Gyro still feels really strong if IG is able to get it. Like your Bane Gyro, that used to be one of the classics. You're always able to set up your missiles and stuff like that. Then you have the Mirana too. Strong laner to kind of help. I like the Legion ban for the obvious reasons. You know, there's a Bane and a Mirana. You probably want to ban out the Dispels.
So, oh yeah, Batten was also banned out.
Yep. Take out the first 3.
I don't know if I've seen Brax play Omni Knight.
I wouldn't put it past him. Definitely wouldn't put it past him. They might be considering that one.
Because I do think Dispel could go a long way. Which is also why I wouldn't rule out a 9 Slark, depending on what they think the mid lane matchup might be.
They actually banned the Gyro themselves. I guess because...
Well, J.Storm has first pick after this, right?
I think J.Storm has first pick after, and also now that I go back and I look at IG, they would be picking the Gyro into the Kunkka and the Lina, which people are really favoring Kunkka and Lina versus the Gyro. So I'm actually liking that they banned it instead of just even trying to go for it themselves or anything like that, because it fits so well with J.Storm too.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds
I think J.Storm should just keep targeting JT. Get rid of, I don't know. What's something that can be good at disrupting the XCOM? Maybe Axe for JT.
Radiant team pick.
Oh, Emo. Ember Bam.
Target
Dire
Beamer.
team
And wait, oh my god, we didn't see the Chen's in the
Chen
pool.
Got into the second phase.
Look at that, Ogre's the first 3 ban, not the Chen. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty surprising that it makes it through the ban phase. So
Yeah.
easy one to miss there. But yeah, there it is.
All right, go next.
Is it that strong? I mean,
What's Chen's win rate here? Do we have?
oh,
have
I
a
have
number
the
on that,
power.
right?
If you give me a second,
Take your time.
I will give you the power.
I'm gonna talk
No,
about what
Chen's-
IG is planning with that.
Chen is really strong alone, but I think Chen also in combination with Kunkka, and now you still have future heroes that you can pick up to work well with the Chen, to synergize well with it too. Like Rum plus Hand of God makes your team fights, you're very sustainable.
So who's the do they run 5 Chen, just Fear Chen, or is it possibility for Moose? I'm 90% sure it won't be a Brax Chen, which is something that like a 33 alliance would do. But
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine that.
So-
Chen's win rate: 15 games played, 73% win rate.
it's quite good.
That is really good, especially for the amount of games that it's been involved in.
Yeah, that is one of the higher ones.
Keeper of the Light's not doing too hot, by the way. 40% win rate with 35 games played.
35 games.
35 games,
35, yeah.
quite a lot.
IG looking stumped. I think Miran is like somewhat okay. Give
Mhm.
arrows to kill Chen creeps, but they do need other answers to this Chen.
You want to continue with
TA.
the stats that I got for the TA?
Hit me.
All right, TA, 17 games played, 41% win rate. It's not good.
It's not that great, no.
No. We've seen mostly the TAs. We've seen TAs have struggles in the lanes.
Yeah.
And then some have been able to
10 seconds
recover in the
remaining.
jungle, and then some just haven't.
Yeah, so many teams have been picking Dire TA.
5
I
Yeah.
don't like Dire
remaining.
TA.
It's dire TA, and it's also into like, I mean, Torrent is pretty
Yeah,
good
yeah,
versus
just burn out
TA
the
throughout
refraction.
the whole game. And also, it's not the greatest when you're playing TA and you can't actually just burst these targets down. You jump on someone, they get either rummed, or you're gonna get like Hand of God and changed. And now there's an Alchemist also thrown in the pool. Do you take an AA and just move a Marana or something like that? You're gonna need something to disrupt all this.
IG seems consistently one step behind J.Storm in this draft so far.
Oh my God, they're getting Alch-Chened in the 3rd, 4th. Weren't people Alch-Chenning first
yeah,
too?
Yeah.
they were.
Oof. And I
But that
Kunkalina
was
as well
how
too.
TNC beat J.Storm, I'm pretty sure.
Oh man, this is a really good draft so far by J.Storm that I'm seeing.
Is this one of those games where, let's say you miss the draft, you come in late, you look at the game, it's like, wow, how did J.Storm get Kunkka and Chen and Alchemist and Lina in the same draft?
Yes.
Yeah, it does look like
Definitely
it.
what you
Because it's
think.
like, it's not just the Chen and the Alchemist, because those first two are pretty good too.
Ooh, look at that though. So it is a 41% win rate for the TA, but they have won with it 100% of the time.
Ooh, wow, that is it.
That's quite a
I
stat.
didn't have that stat.
They got
Kudos
you beat
to
you.
Mars. Yeah, they got me beat for sure.
So, and also the nice thing is Timbersaw's banned. So the other hero that a lot of teams are looking at to play versus that Alchemist is taken out too. So what are the other options? We've seen Lifestealer a couple times was played versus it.
Radiant team back.
I'm gonna go with JTS.
Yes. I don't think that solves your Alchemist problem, though.
Definitely not just yet, no.
And I'm not even like, Chen is beyond solving at this point. You've missed your window to beat the Chen problem. Now you just need to worry about the Alchemist.
Yeah, but you
Oof.
don't want the AA anymore because you don't want to core
No,
Marana.
No, you don't have a place to put it. You
10
definitely don't.
Yeah.
seconds remaining.
Man. What are the options for the carry then?
Unless you AA3. But no, you already have the axe. No, I don't
Can't-
like it.
Yeah, you can't. I think they're in a bit of a pickle here.
Yes. From the looks of their faces, they think so too.
Like, do you just like all in and what do you get is your all in hero? Actually, because right now, what are they missing a lot on the side of IG? They're missing team fight, they're missing some push, and they're missing the counters to like Chen and Alchemist. And there's a Kunkka too. It seems really hard. They have too many things they need to fit with their last pick,
And it's a fly hero.
and it's their
There's
carry
a
hero.
lot of pressure on fly, and normally the ones that do well with the pressure that they've been given with their last pick are Emo and JT. So
The only hero that
rough
really
one.
stands out to me is
Lifestealer,
Lifestealer.
which
And
gets
it's banned.
It's like the
Yeah.
only one, and it's banned. Yeah.
You can't jam a Juggernaut into this. It's pretty much only good with Magnus these days. Who else can deal with X torrents? Dude, there isn't even a 5th hero on J.Storm yet. You just have these 4 heroes, and IG are like
10
paralyzed
seconds
against this
remaining.
draft.
What would
running
J.Storm
low.
like? Like if we were like letting go on IG for a second. What's because J.Storm has overall last pick.
I think they want a Brax hero.
Their team pick.
They ban out the bat.
Batrider's been getting banned so much, but
We've
I don't
not
think
really
I've seen
seen
him
it
play it
picked,
like
yeah.
at all.
What's
Definitely tough hero. I mean, if you have TA and
Yeah,
you're playing
so
versus
they
Batrider
could
and
just move it
Kunkka, it's
mid.
like, jeez,
Yeah.
you're in a world of hurt.
So what has Brax played so far this tournament?
Centaur, Enigma, Abaddon, Pudge, Beastmaster,
Oh,
Slardar,
Enigma.
Ogre.
You don't think they might just pick 9 some hero here?
You don't think it's a
5
mid Kunkka? You think it's a Brax
seconds
Kunkka?
I think it could be a Brax Kunkka, and they just pick 9 something else. A lane dominator. They know it's mid. They know TA is mid 100%, right? So
true.
you can just pick like a Razor
Yeah.
or something like that, and you just, what the hell is TA gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
Even though we saw Emo playing really well versus Razor in the first few levels the other day, I believe
Yeah,
it
that
was.
is
And I think
true.
they won that game
They
versus
did.
the Razor.
It's a drow. Now we've seen the TA drow at work yesterday, and
Ooh.
IG was on the receiving end of that, and that was really good. Like that TA
Yeah.
crushed it. Obviously still lost, but
I think it's cool too. You pick the Drow now. If it is going to be a Razor, now you have these Hurricane Pike builders and things that actually benefit a lot too. So maybe they're thinking it could have been a Razor coming out, but I'm not too sure.
5 seconds remaining.
Well, now you have the option, instead of bullying the TA, you can go for something to bully the Drow. So
Yeah, I mean I feel like they can with Kunkalina pretty easy, but yeah, if they
That's
want to
true.
go for a
They
different thing
can.
for Brax, I feel like they've got a decent amount of options. Just who wants to play which role, or which hero wants to play which role. Because they can.
they can still opt for the Dispel thing that we were talking about if they want to do like an Omni Knight.
Damn, Omni Chen Alk, lots of heals. Yeah, could be a
Yeah.
possibility. Don't think you can pressure the Drow as much then.
Ooh, the
That's a
Venom.
space creating, and that makes Axe's life pretty miserable, and that
Yeah.
makes TA's life extremely miserable.
So J.Storm learned a little something from their TNC series.
That
I
looks like
guess.
that looks like TNC's
It
draft on
looks
the
like
left
Yes,
side.
it
100
does.
That is
It
TNC's
does.
draft on the left side.
Wait, did they actually? You think they played
oh, wait,
that in one
is
of the
it
games?
a 9 Veno? Is it a mid Veno? Because Brax picked up the
No,
Kunkka.
9 Alk. 9
9
Alk.
Alk.
Ah. So Moo Veno.
I've.
You think this is a draft that TNC has played?
It looks very similar to something that TNC has played. I mean, the Venomancer is something they've played multiple times at this tournament. They're some of the few ones to
Yes.
actually been doing
And
it.
they're the team that got the Chen Alk.
And they're the
whenever
ones that got
happened.
Chen Alk as well.
I don't know if it was Kunkalina, but those 3 heroes at the end. So why Moo Veno?
Maybe they move up the who's playing where. Maybe 9's just the Alk player and Moo's not.
So will he go safe lane? Like, who's mid is what I'm wondering. Who's going to go mid versus the Templar Assassin?
I think it's Moo.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, Moo's mid,
I
9
think
safe
Moo.
lane, and then pressure lane, Brax Moo's.
Okay.
Hey, you could always put Alchemist there as well. You get some poison down later
Versus
on.
TA,
Yeah.
you get
Just-
denied.
Ah,
She
I
gets
guess
like all the denies
that's
on you
true.
because they're minus the armored and she has the refraction. And I don't think they'll do that one, but maybe.
No, I trust you. Veno seems like a solid pick.
I mean, regardless of how they lane it, I like J.Storm's draft.
Me too.
Way more than
All right.
IG's draft.
I think there's definitely a time where IG, if they get they can just sneak a Roche super easily. That's the one thing. Their lineup kills Roshan incredibly fast. But I think if J.Storm ever gets map control, if J.Storm ever gets Roche, I think this game's just over.
Yeah.
Timing.
Looks tough for
Play
IG.
clean. That is the advice to IG, who is seemingly, according to my analysts, are going to fight an uphill battle against J.Storm. Let's get into our first match of the day with LD and Gods.
Well, gods, seems like everybody's all aboard the J.Storm train, but IG, they defied the odds yesterday to get here.
Yep.
Actually facing a very similar lineup with this Drow TA.
Yeah, they're taking.
Maybe they taking a page out of the book of the discarded Beast Coast.
I imagine they saw just how good the Drow is with certain heroes. The TA, the Enchantress in that game. This time there's a TA and a support Mirana. Heroes to benefit from the aura. We'll see how they can do as far as playing fast, putting pressure on, because they are against an Alchemist.
All right, guys, let's get ready. It's IG taking on J.Storm. Best of 3 showdown. Lots at stake here at the opening DPC major. J.Storm on the Radiant, IG on the Dire. A huge and not often seen commitment here as they send 4 heroes all the way down to get that deep lane ward, and it does go entirely undetected. There is an Alk in the game, of course, so these bounty rune shenanigans are amplified in their importance.
Your atrocity
Yeah, they're
rate.
trying to scout the lanes, and like you say, if they can get 3 out of the 4 bounty runes or something, it'd be great. But unfortunately for them, J.Storm, they went top, so
The battle
they were hoping perhaps J.Storm would contest the bottom runes, in which case IG would
Your
likely get 3 out of them.
atrocity rate.
Look at this from Fear. Picks up the Blightstone early
Yeah.
on. This is not a go-to Chen build.
We've usually been seeing the Headdress as the starting item. This gives him the 3 extra Tangos. The Headdress is like you literally just have a Headdress and nothing else. It gives him a Fairy Fire, so a little bit different. He must just feel like this is a better way to play the lane. Who's he?
With the Veno wards, maybe? The synergy there? Like physical
Yeah.
right-click damage plus the minus
Moo
armor.
is up top still. J.Storm have not committed anyone to this bottom lane. There we go. Chen's going to pull the Veno in once they figure out what the lane is.
And right into an arrow. What a way
Yeah.
to start the lane.
He saves the range creep. I actually think that's good for J.Storm because that arrow is not meant to hit him. It's meant to snipe the
Now,
range
do they
creep.
deny it? Let's
They
see.
should.
Oh,
There we
they
go.
got it. Easy. Tag team. So JT's going to start pulling down here.
Yep.
Yeah, this Orb of Venom build. Kinda,
Yes.
Or, sorry, Blightstone. Pretty interesting.
The idea very much with this Veno pick is they wanted to lane against the Axe. Bottom lane, Kaka almost dead is going to TP out. He does die before the TP out.
Right clicks bring
He
him
was
down.
TPing too, so now he has to walk back to lane.
It was a Gale just into raw right clicks. The power of the Blightstone.
I think it was a long TP because Bane had previously TP'd top, it looks like. And that, I was like, I'm pretty sure he's going to TP out okay. And then the TP just kept on channeling, so really disastrous start from the Mirana.
Can JT salvage this lane? He's going to try to harass Fear a bit here, but Fear can just give him the right click in this level 1 Battle Hunger. Not very scary. Our top lane, we've seen some pressure early on Fly and Ollie, chewing through the Bane's mana. The mid lane, though, gods. This was the panel expected the Veno mid. And 9 to get some more protected farm, and that's not what we're seeing. So TA versus Alk.
Yeah, as Fog mentioned, you can definitely get some good denies on TA with the Refraction and the minus armor of the Acid, but so far Alk's holding his own. 8 CS to the TAs, 8 with 2 denies. TA about to get a wave onto tower, though. So TA is slightly ahead, but you're not picking Alk to win the lane, you're just picking Alk as a mid to get some early levels, fall back to the jungle, and then power farm.
10-2 on the TA. We do already see an Ancient stack, so they've been on top of those as Fear is going to get pressured bottom. They've already committed the arrow, but they can just run him down with right clicks. Didn't try for the TP and won't make it out. Takes the punches. Moo coming in as JT denies himself to the tower, but Fear ends up getting the gold.
And Moo gets the experience, I believe, on his Venom. Mirana's level 2, so has leap charges now.
If you start to let this Veno snowball, the lane gets very annoying to play against.
Yep. It's going to force some more leaps, it looks like. Kaka, oh, can't juke behind that tree.
He's got a TP scroll. I don't know if he can just TP his way out of here. He's looking to be dead.
That's all
One
three.
more leap with the salve. Okay, he'll commit everything to get out.
Those leaps have a long replenish time at level 1, so
45 seconds.
it's very annoying for the Mirana, who can't really play the lane without those leap charges. We'll just be spending more time in the jungle and perhaps trying to arrow mid, but you can't help the Axe when you don't have leap playing against Veno.
There is a ward towards mid, so they've seen Kaka. I think he just stepped into range, and in any case, the call would have been made. He's off the lane bottom.
I actually quite like the Mirana versus Alk matchup because you just arrow all the big
Arrow
creeps
coming
the
in
jungle.
mid. Oh, if that hits, that's a kill.
Yeah. 9 backing off in time. But yeah, the Alk's jungle that he can fall back to is missing a lot of these neutrals because Mirana has been arrowing all the big ones just for golden experience. So
Just leaving
9
him the scraps.
Yeah, he's going to have the scraps or he's going to have to go back to his other triangle, which you're totally happy with. But it's not really quite the same farm you'd otherwise get.
And she doesn't really need to lane bottom because Axe can just skip the wave. And if the Veno's chasing him, trying to fight him, he's not getting experience either.
Yeah, Veno's chasing this Axe really far here. This is a bit surprising because Veno is just missing waves at his tower, and he can't stop the Axe's TP unless he gets a TP support from one of his teammates here.
Yeah, it's going to have to come from that top lane.
JT's just going to TP out here once he feels the need to do so. He's being kited around. He wants this one wave before the TP.
He's a slow boy.
Did J.Storm glyph it or anything? Doesn't look like it.
Call. TP gets the plus armor. Oh! JT! Oh, one more wave?
Well, they both wasted their TP. He's going to die here, but he feels like it's worth it because Moo misses the wave of the tower. I think it's... a win for J.Storm, though, because Fear is at least here to get the last hits and experience. So
Also, Axe coming back right as the bounty rune spawn. Will he be there in time to try and secure these bottom? Fear is not making a move yet. Meanwhile, top lane, haven't talked much about this, but they're chasing out Fly. Bounty rune being grabbed by Ollie. He's got one. He should be able to get the other. No, he's not going to commit for it. So they get 3 out of 4.
Yep.
Not bad.
Good against the outcome.
And the jungle invasion continues. Emo's taken over 9's jungle.
Oh,
Level 6 already.
The other unmentioned thing about Mu canceling his TP, he's playing with the Chen, of course. Chen just pulls him back into the lane. So he walked back to Fountain, bought his items, gets pulled in by the Chen. Doesn't matter that his TP's on cooldown. So definitely a win for J.Storm, killing JT's Axe.
9's getting harassed here. Emo's going to die for this with the traps coming in. A beautiful shot by the arrow. They get the outkill.
Nicely
Slowing him down.
Kaka gets in the enemy Alk jungle as well, so he might drop some deep wards here. They're pinging, 9's pinging like, hey, look, there's this Mirana here.
Can we get this infestation out, please?
Yeah. They would have seen the ward in Mirana's inventory, so they likely know it's warded. It's just they won't maybe know where it's warded. Fear misses the first sentry. We'll see if he latches on with the second one that he's got there, or if he just holds on to it.
Just scouting out for now. Does find Mud Golem to add to the crew.
Oh, that's 3 last hits for Alk that you're taking away with the Mud Golem. With the Grievel's Greed. That's the one
true.
you don't want to take from the Alk.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But he wants some neutrals to do stuff with, and there we go. He does end up finding the Observer Ward. Leaves
He's
it for
going
the
to
Alk.
leave it for his Alk.
Nice.
Man, what a guy.
Yep. Some Grievel's Greed.
All-American hero, indeed. Well, bottom lane, JT continuing to creep skip. He'll just TP right back where Emo and him are going to farm up at the shrine. Already level 8 on Emo. And well ahead of the Alk in net worth.
Yeah, he's with the Ancient stacks there. Emo very happy. The double damage. He can farm Ancient so easily now. He wants to kind of take over this Radiant jungle as well, it looks like. Give up his lane to one of the supports.
Ollie with that defensive sleep. There's a good gust away. It looks like he's out of there. Meanwhile, mid. Dive onto Moose. They're going to drop the trap. Coming in with the melt shot. Another arrow connection. Kaka scores the kill. So IG heating up here in the laning stage. Still down in net worth, but you're up against an Alk, so if you're close, then you're happy.
Absolutely. We'll see how they fare with this decent laning stage stuff, because heroes like TA and Axe, this Venom was picked to kind of counter them. There's so much damage over time, so many annoying things to play into.
Kaka trying to contest these neutrals. Got to respect that acid spray, though. He's going to leap out once, leaps out again. Fear is just there with the right clicks. There is another leap available. Kaka doesn't want to blow it, and he'll just barely make it back to safety.
Yep. He took at least 2, I think 2 out of the last 4, including the big ones.
Very nice.
JT TP up in 1. He's going to TP out. Time and time again, JT being chased by Mu. JT TP's out. Mu TP's back to farm.
And the tower getting tickled here, at least taking some damage, also preventing the Veno from pushing that much.
Yep. I mean, if you play the lane, Veno just destroys Axe. So this is Axe making it kind of an even-ish farm.
They found Kaka.
Yep.
X is there. This time he won't get away.
Emo comes in, snipes some of the Chen creeps, and they want some kills here. Fear in trouble. He's just level 3.
Balina's also here.
Yep.
So too is the Drow. Everybody rotating in. 2 hero stun from the pit.
They may go for Mu instead. Moose, I should say.
Moose.
Mu and Moose.
Moose is going to mosey on out of there, but Mirana coming in with the arrow. Will connect. Emo gets off the melt shot, and that should be the death of Balina. Pops the fairy fire. No dice.
Emo's crushing this game as TA.
This
3-0.
could be a kill opportunity. JT's got an invis. There is no detection. They did not see this grabbed. They get the call too. Here comes Emo. Big kill if they can bring down Mu. Level 7 already. And with a chop, they lop off his head.
Really nice kill.
They're leading in net worth against an Alk. Gotta feel good if you're IG.
Yeah. The Alk is going to look to start taking off. He's got level 8. He's got the stacks with Acid Spray. He'll very quickly skyrocket in terms of farm, but we'll see. He's looking at that, 12 to 13-minute radiance if he wants to hit a good timing on it. But
do you feel like they have the tools to deal with him? Like you said, they've slowed him down, but they're not going to stop him.
they kind of do, but the problem is their answers to him, like some of the bursts of the TA Drow with all their damage output, these are heroes that may struggle to play against, like the Veno, for example, that can counter the Axe. The Kunkka has some damage block, so they have tools to deal with Alchemist, but J.Storm also has some ways to ensure the Alch has a good game. And of course, the Chen with the Alch amplifying up all that health regen of Alchemist makes him nearly unkillable.
IG trying to keep the pressure up here. They're moving on to Mu down bottom. Kaka thinking about an arrow. Initiation, they're converging with 3. The traps come in, and again the pressure's on the Veno. This means Alch can free farm, but JT tries to get in range for a Berserker's Call. Can't quite do it. He's just a slow, lumbering oaf.
I was looking at his item build. I was like, oh, he got Phase Boots and Windlace to try and deal with the
And he's
Veno
still
slows.
slow.
Not enough.
You're almost better just not even buying boots.
Yeah, I think Kaka threw his arrow a bit early. He was expecting Veno to hard commit for the rune, so he lined it up on the rune, and Veno was just like, I'm not dying for this. And as a result, like, if you chased him with the arrow, it should be, it's a pretty easy arrow if you line it up.
Looks like JT wants to rush the blink here.
Yeah,
We usually see more of like a tank build, but he is their main initiator.
playing against Veno, you're just never going to be able to phase boots in and get a call off. So the blink feels kind of essential, even though Veno can also counter the blink with Plague Wards. It at least allows you to make some plays.
Radiant Scan did hit Pater up top. They try to make a dive. Torrent had a little fish, catches out Ollie.
JT's just cutting waves time and time again. Anytime he sees Kunkka Lina on the map, he's just able to play as aggressive as he wants behind the enemy tower.
They did Moonlight Shadow, but this rotation by Kaka was already scouted by that Observer Ward in the Dire jungle.
Your atrocity made.
So he swings on towards mid, but there's nobody home. 9 just in the jungle. 3k gold. Now pulling ahead of the TA. And I'll have the relic soon.
Fear's bought so many sentries for the Radiant team to try and secure the Alch's jungle that right now Alch has pulled himself back on the first in terms of net worth. Fear had 4 or 5 sentries before, now just a couple, but Radiant Vision is all defensive, all looking to protect their jungle, secure the Alch's farm.
Yeah, he is ahead. He's not that far ahead, but that'll change with this Radiance. Deso is coming soon for TA.
Yeah.
Can IG make some plays? Guess we're going to find out momentarily. They still are a ways off the blink of JT. So without that, it's basically a Moonlight Shadow to start a fight reliably.
Yeah, and Drow's not farming particularly well. I think Flyfly spent too long trying to play the lane and only now is going back into the jungle. Is farming under a ward, but at this point, that Radiant ward doesn't do a whole lot since I don't feel J.Storm are looking to play too aggressive unless they go for some kind of smoke maneuver.
Seems unlikely. They
Yeah.
get the bots on the Veno. This is really an item to just be able to constantly farm and, you know, push out the lanes.
Their initiation's the Kunkka X, which is still just level 1, so until they get more points on Kunkka, it's hard to make plays.
Emo's already into the pit. 12 minutes in. They're looking for an Aegis. Great to deny this to an Alch too if they can pull it off. J.Storm doesn't seem to have a clue just yet. It's a very early Roche. It's a very early Desolator.
Yeah, Drow is pretty good for enabling this. Plus 71 attack speed on TA at this stage with Deso is insane damage output.
Cleanly secured Aegis for Emo. Nice beginnings for IG. Still actually up on J.Storm. Pretty... I don't think we've seen many out games where he's had relative free farm and not had his team on top at this point, but they're doing it despite not taking towers.
Yep. Yeah, I think for J.Storm, it's often the classic Alch thing where Alch can have a good game and get his farm, but can his teammates? Veno, Boots of Travel already online. This is the build we've been seeing for the most part, just this lane shoving, greedy farming, space creating Veno that's... I mean, he's going to come online, and he is keeping up with the Drow and the Axe for the most part. So I think J.Storm not too worried about how things are going for Moose game. Both their supports are really struggling. Like, you see where Mirana is at, because Mirana's got to farm these lanes while Drow and TA hit the jungle. Neither of these J.Storm supports have anything at the time being.
The big thing is this JT blink. He's very close. And can IG make plays when they get it?
Yeah.
It's tough against the Veno lane, that's for damn sure. There's just a line of Plague Wards blocking any sort of movement in.
Feels like J.Storm just are going to have a real lack of stuns to make plays with. Like, this Bane could theoretically go off in a fight just because he's going to be sitting back, Fiend scripting the Alchemist. If they don't save, like, an LSA or a Kunkka Torrent for that Fiend script, and often they're going to be initiating with this Kunkka.
Here comes
Bane
the
could be
Blink
very
debut,
impactful.
but Mu is already snaking his way back to the tower. JT worming his way through the trees, has the Quelling Blade to dig in a bit deeper. But look at the positioning. They have scanned him, scouted him out, and while this is happening, J.Storm making a smoke towards top. The Moonlight Shadow gets popped. They might be closing on this bottom lane momentarily. Bounties are spawning. Trap gets deployed.
Drow's
Will
just taking the
Kaka
T1
go
bottom.
for it? He wants to snag it, but there's a surprise waiting for him. The X catches him up on the high ground, reeling back in the Mirana. She will go down, but she got the bounty.
That's worth it against an Alchemist. They get the tier 1 bottom as well while that's going on, so just a
3
support
for them
kill.
again. I think they've gotten 3 the last 2 times at least.
Yeah,
And the
that
first one
sounds
was a
right.
2 for 2. So they get the tower as well, as you mentioned, Gods, and they're going to rotate on mid.
Yep. Still a very even game. This 2K gold lead is going to quickly disappear or get enhanced depending how this first fight goes. Misblink call from JT means Moo gets back to safety.
Yeah, Alex already got his blink. Has the 2 points in concoction now. Going straight into a heart.
The
With
item,
the Chen,
yeah.
you know? No
We see
AA
this
in
a
this
lot.
game. It's a good time to be an out.
I'm wondering, there's no Spirit Vessel coming up on IG, it looks like. Mirana bought the Urn of Shadows, but isn't looking to upgrade it right now.
She may be regretting that soon.
Yeah, I wonder. They feel like they want some more setup and playmaking with this Eul's pickup, but Spirit Vessel would be very nice against Alk.
Does give them another way to start the fights.
Yep.
Because JT's had a tough time finding these openings since he got his blink. They do scout out Moo under a trap, going for the TPOA. Can JT get there in time? Oh, close but no cigar, and they're going to lose a tower for it. So tier 2s both traded in the safe lane.
Yep.
IG trying to make something happen while they still have
Hunting.
this Aegis.
Brax gets in the trees. He's going to look for a TP out.
Oh, this Chen army getting massacred.
JT blinks up, doesn't find anyone, and yeah, Chen will lose some creeps, but J.Storm will be happy that they're just trading towers and getting some more farm on the Alp. Even though he's got this Radiance blink, they're not quite ready to go for a full-on team fight just yet.
After he gets heart, is that go time? Or do you just keep on farming and take it slow?
Let's see, what are they? They kind of just want to play this farm the map kind of style right now, it feels like to me. They will have the levels in Kunkka's X now at least, so 3 points in X marks the spot. Gives them some playmaking capabilities, but yeah, wait out this Aegis, and I think they'll make moves with with smokes basically. They need to be the ones getting the jump.
Okay.
So yeah, I think it's go time. They've got pretty much every item they could hope for. The Boots of Travel, Veil, Veno shoves one lane and then can just TP in to join the fight.
9 closing in on the Reaver. Already 2,500 gold. That's a nice pickup for him. As you mentioned, the Veil is now online. He's going to TP back. It seems like they want to hold this top tier 2.
Yeah,
And the whole team is smoking that way.
Aegis is expiring in 15 seconds. That's why they're going for this.
Oh, blinks out. He knows.
Yeah.
He knows it's not safe here anymore.
This is a small window for J.Storm to fight. The TA doesn't have Aegis and BKB isn't online yet. Emo hasn't queued anything up, but yeah, there we go. He just queued up the BKB. Until he has this, he's very vulnerable. There's so much to break Refraction instantly. The Torrent, there's the Radiance damage, there's the Veno damage over the time. It's very hard for him to get defensive impact out of that spell.
Well, they'll hit a nice power spike with the double BKB. Drow, I believe, also just completed hers. Flying out on the courier now.
I like that Drow's just chilling and farming. If this does go late, the Drow could be this answer to the Aug, the Veno. None of these heroes easily get on top of the Drow. So a 6-slotted Drow Ranger is going to quickly become the late game assurance that the TA maybe doesn't provide. And even TA scales a lot better than she used to with things like the level 25 Meld Hit Bash talent.
Sounds like you think this IG lineup should scale better if this goes quite late.
Yeah, I feel like right now it's like going 60-40 IG with where things currently stand. It's still very winnable for J.Storm. We're just not seeing them make plays, make moves. It's 5 kills apiece. They're being slightly out-farmed. I'm not sold on what the Veno's going to bring to the table, but we'll see. He's annoying. He's definitely doing a good job just keeping his lane shelved and keeping up his farm.
Never took a tower in his lane, which is what we've usually seen from the Veno picks, is eventually that tower drops. But
Yeah.
the Axe creep skipping really threw him off.
He hasn't had any heroes playing around him, so anytime he doesn't feel safe going close to these enemy towers when any rotation from a Bane with Fiend's Grip, a Mirana Arrow, can pick him off.
Basically, any 2 heroes can kill
Yep.
him, aside
Or
from
even-
maybe the 2 supports.
Yes. We saw the TA rotate and kill him once, so yeah, not an easy game for him.
They got a pipe. Very nice against Veno.
Yeah, and I think IG happy just to play on the parts of the map where they have vision and control, the mid and the bottom side. The good news for J.Storm being on Radiant is second Roshan is going to be a lot harder for IG to get. This time around, 2 bounty runes apiece. IG not even going to risk going for any of those top ones.
I do kind of compare this game, guys, to like that TNC Bounty Hunter out game where he was like 3x the net worth of anyone else. He's like 2,000 gold ahead right now.
Yes.
It's not much of an advantage.
He's had very little jungle farm because of the early lost towers and that bottom part of the map being taken away. But both teams going to smoke up, Moonlight Shadow up. It's go time.
Nine's coming in from
He's
behind.
got that Heart of Trash.
Here come the
TP
bots.
in. Oh, no.
Oh, the prized Venomancer just gets caught out in the wrong neighborhood, but Alk's coming in. They want to try to take this fight. He got off his ultimate. BKB's coming through. They get the grip on Nine, locking him down, instantly bursting him. There's no backup. The boat's way late, and now it's a headlong retreat. Arrows plunging into the heart of Moose. They'll chop him up too. A clean win and a disastrous time for that TP.
Yeah, both teams smoking up, and it was the double BKB timing. You mentioned how strong IG was going to be with it, LD, and they showed it right there. There was no answer to it. Bane had a full duration Fiend script, and that's the problem. There's so few stuns on this J.Storm side, and often they're being used to initiate that. If Bane positions well, he's going to get these good Fiend scripts off.
You mentioned the map control. We're going to see more of it disappear here potentially as they are sieging. Not ready to commit, though. These heroes coming back pretty soon. So Emo actually backs off. The other 3 will think twice, retreat, and work towards their next item.
Yep.
So Spirit Vessel also on the way. Kaka's got the gold for it now if he wants it.
Yeah, no, so the Yule's not really slowing this key item down all too much. He'll still get it. The Yule's is also very nice against the Kunkka X. It means you can't be as greedy with those X plays when you want to run out to farm a lane.
I feel like J.Storm need a lot of items on this Alk right now. He doesn't even have a BKB, and we saw the physical damage is a big problem.
Yeah. He needs armor, he needs a BKB.
Needs like another damage item probably to actually reliably kill
Yeah.
anyone in BKB.
He's got the AC BKB queued up, but
Another smoke. They want to make their move, and they're going to start it off quickly on the Alk. Locking him down, bursting him down. They haven't finished him off yet. They're chasing for him, though. The trap's deployed. The Alk is dead again.
Yep.
He can't stand against the damage, even with those supports behind him. Now Moo backing off. The arrow's up soon. They've got the Yules to cancel a TP. They're going to lose the Veno, and JT chasing for Fear. Chasing him, punching him, and slowly beating him down. They're going to lose the old man as well. No match for the big axe. 3
Fear.
dead. Game feeling very hopeless at the moment.
yep, they just burst down the Alk at the start. He almost started to get away until Mirana showed up with that Starstorm damage. The healing just not quite enough, and IG just pick him off one by one, ending up with the Chen. Fear saying, where am I, guys? Stuck in the jungle. Where's my team? And now it looks like they may even try go high ground.
As though they didn't have enough damage already. Emo, Crystallis ready. Butterfly coming soon on Fly. TA is right
went
there
so
with the
fast.
Alk's net worth. Actually pulls back ahead at only 23 minutes, and they're going to lose all outer towers.
Yep. A tier 2, a tier 3, which means shrines will be claimed, which also means this next Roshan should be IG's. Very hard to contest it without the shrine up, since if there's a big fight, you often want to be able to buy back and TP to these shrines, whereas IG still have theirs, and they're already in the pit, and they'll kill this before J.Storm can even get there.
And make no mistake, this is a classic 4 protect 1 strat. They don't have a secondary carry. Veno is not going to carry this game unless IG get really sloppy and dive the fountain. You know, it's a support Lina who hasn't had all that much farm.
Yeah. And you
It's got to be the Alk.
Yeah, and you mentioned it's like he was only 2 or 3K gold ahead of the TA. It feels like that's where most Alks would have been like 10K plus ahead, and the game would look even. He was 2K ahead, and the game sure as hell isn't even. Now he's behind TA in terms of farm.
Yeah, it goes back to a lot of little things. Kaka messing with his jungle, the TA lane matchup, that early death, the denial of stacks where possible. All those little incremental punishes on the Alk, they pile up to this position.
Well,
Can they claw their way back in?
They need to just avoid team fights, play in their high ground, defend the base at this stage of the game, I'd say. With Aegis and Cheese on the dire side, you can't risk getting caught out. But the problem is that means Alk isn't really progressing in terms of farm. He needs to find parts of the map where he feels safe and secure.
They want to go on Moo. Leading with Kaka. Moonlight Shadow coming through. Drops the ward. Can they catch him? There is no tower. There's a ward up the hill. They have vision. I don't know if you want to dive that, though. That's a little ambitious.
They see 9 top, I believe, but he gets pulled out, and they want to secure bounty runes. They should get all 4 here.
That's problematic if you're losing the bounties at this stage with an Alk. Like we saw in that TNC match, I think it went, what, like 80 minutes or something?
They're smoked
They
up
were
early.
getting bounties constantly, all game long.
What, they're going for a play. This seems crazy, but we'll see if it pans out. It might catch IG by surprise. It's
Bottom
surprising
lane,
me.
they've got Moose hiding. Looking for Kaka, and while that's happening, Ollie probably going down. So it looks like at least one support.
Okay.
They do get that first kill, but IG want to fight.
They recognize
They're
IG
moving in,
split.
chasing forward, looking for fear. Quick
Great.
kill, 900 damage. Nothing really lost here, just a Bane.
That smoke's not intended to team fight. They were hoping for just like a pick-off. Unfortunately, just a Bane pick-off is not the biggest kill, but they buy some time perhaps. I don't think IG will rush into a high ground push, at least until Bane's back. They want to have that Fiend script for the Alchemist.
IG looking to challenge that assumption as they're just
maybe.
steamrolling down mid. Bane's going to be up soon.
Yeah, he's back
Chen
in
will
5,
also
so
be up soon, but
They say screw it, let's go.
they just think they're stronger. They've got the Aegis, they've got the completed data list. They're chunking through these melee racks. Do they fully commit though? Emo getting reeled back into a stun, into a Gale, and he just runs forward. He knows he has the BKB, he knows he has the second life. He's already gotten 1 melee.
This
Do they stick around?
So
The Blade
too.
call, and now looking for more. Moo getting pumped with arrows, finished off even through the hand of God. It's not enough. The mech was blown there too. It just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And like you said, this melt dispel,
Gets rid
the
of the Gale.
Veno does
Yeah.
nothing.
Like, okay, I'm Gale, insta-meld, okay, no longer Gale.
The Veno is useless now against the TA. Who's going to stop this push? It's
don't think they
basically
can.
checkmate.
It-
Like, there's no big play here. There's like a boat. Maybe it hits a few, but they've got BKBs. They've got an Aegis. Arrow off the mark. A lot of spells missing for IG. They just don't care. Emo keeps on going. 9 running out of mana also, so he can't even get off an unstable concoction. He's got to go back to the well in Chemical Rage. And that gives Emo all the opening in the world to take a second lane. IG just looking clinical. He'll deny his own racks.
Wow.
Well, you can't win them all, but you can at least make them feel less good about winning this one. That's 2 lanes.
Walk on out. They still have a full minute of Aegis, so they might even go for top here. I don't even think they need a creep wave.
I
with
don't
them,
think
but-
we've seen an Alk struggle this much. We've seen teams lose with Alk,
Yep.
but to be this poor and unable to man-fight anybody, I don't even know if he can man-fight the Axe right now. He's going to try. BKB,
Whoa,
pop by Fly. Didn't want to get caught there by an unstable concoction. Emo also trapped. The Lina stun a bit early as he meld dispelled the X.
I
I think.
think you can. I
Well,
think it was
some-
maybe mistimed.
Well, did he not pull him back then?
I did not see. I can't.
I think you can. Oh, it looked like it anyway.
Okay. X is not dispellable, but
Okay. Not sure what happened there.
well, either way, J.Storm's base in tatters, even with this top lane still standing. Feels like they've lost all hope of turning this game around. Ooh, okay, don't look at Dota plus win probability.
Are we off the map?
Come on, Observer, I said not to. We are done and dusted according to Uncle Gaben.
All right. Make
Well-
it quick, IG. Get us to game 2.
You know,
Or throw it and make it fun, but do something.
yeah, the whole what can J.Storm do? Apparently there isn't anything. Well, it feels inevitable. If they want to wait for another Roshan, they can, but I don't think they necessarily need to with how easily they've taken a few lanes of racks already. More likely they're just picking up their next couple of items. Vlad's on Mirana. You know, TA with MKB and Deso. Drow with something coming out of the Courier, I want to say. Has a Hurricane Pike just picked up, so yep. And Moo's about to be picked off.
Moose. Thank you very much. IG will grab that kill. The bottom lane shoves back in. The top lane, ideally the one they want to finish off. There's still low range racks in mid. They're biding their time, looking for the clean initiation. And J.Storm slither out of the base, but JT is there to punish. Moves into position, goes for the blink call. 9 blink, all right, I was able to just run away in time, but the chase is on now. He's heading north, and while that's happening, Emo and Fly find a pickoff here on Fear. There's a DD rune up top. Bounty runes have spawned, but they just don't care. They're going in with the blink call, looking for the Brax Kunkka. They find him, arrow combination. Benno commits, but they don't really give a hoot. IG bring him down. They will take the melee. They will take the ranged. They can rotate on mid for the megas. Well, clean, clinical display. Alk Chen looking very frail in this game.
It was 100% before the megas. I don't know what it is now.
150. They have a decent shot at just getting a 2 for 0.
They'll kill the Alk, and this should prompt the GG.
They'll look to slay the beast.
Will they kill him? Maybe not.
He's tanky with the boat. Sleep. Arrow. There's the Yules. Try to keep him alive a bit longer. Brax can't stand against the damage, though, even if they manage to keep the Alk alive until JT comes in with the call. And the GGs are called indeed. J.Storm getting smashed here.
Rampage in 2. Venom's coming back. No, not the throne. Oh, he couldn't get the Rampage.
Not much of a game for J.Storm.
That's one way to wake up. It's like, all right, welcome to playing in front of the crowd. J.Storm's first game here on the main stage, and it was not a pretty one.
Yeah, and IG definitely have some new fans today, I imagine, after the way they won yesterday. So
they're styling on people.
Yeah, Alk Chen. Apparently it's not an auto win.
If you can beat Alk Chen, I think that'll get you some more fans as well. You know, Death to Alchemist, say IG.
I think we've seen this TA Drow combo a few times, though. And it's very strong. TA, one of the fastest farmers in the game. I think for GPM in this tournament, she's like top 3.
Yeah.
And it's pretty high win rate, too.
TA's one of those carries that comes online so fast, and then you give her a Drow aura with that Treads Deso. Suddenly, she's a monster. She's able to just kill Roshan in no time at all, take any fight, and it's really hard to deal with.
Well, gods, that does it. Not the most exciting game one, but a very convincing one as IG jump out to a 1-0 advantage.
Yeah, thank you very much, Gods and LD. That game was going a little bit different than what we thought here on the panel. We ended the draft saying that we thought J.Storm had a really good draft and they should probably win. We mentioned there was probably going to be a power spike for IG, you know, any power spike with a Drow Ranger. It was a big power spike, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
How do you want to break that one down? Why were you guys wrong?
I feel like J.Storm didn't play the game, actually. I feel like
Okay.
We weren't wrong. J.Storm was wrong.
Okay.
I think IG did some really good things. I love the way JT manipulated the bottom lane because he's playing versus a Veno. I still was confused why they put the Veno. If Alchemist is their winning condition, why don't you make the Alchemist have this beautiful game bottom,
Yeah.
and then you put the Veno to pressure mid? But besides that, because that's the lanes that they chose, so that's just the way it is. I feel like the top lane should have demolished this Drow Ranger.
Yeah.
I feel like they did pretty good in the lane, and then nothing happened. I feel like I saw all 3 cores farming on the side of J.Storm when they have an Alchemist, and you have to be making plays with Kunkka Veno if you have an Alchemist.
Every lane went suboptimally for J.Storm, and they kind of had no reason to make it go that way. Like, the Veno was constantly chasing around Axe, and you gave Veno the Chen. So, like, you can, you know, deal with creep cutting or whatever. You can last it under tower. You have a Chen in your lane. Mid lane, they ended up sending the Alchemist versus the TA, and she crushed.
Yeah, Emo was like 1,500 gold behind, or 2,000 gold behind the Alchemist in most of the game.
Yeah.
Not even. Like, that's... I really thought they wouldn't put that lane matchup because of how it goes. Like, 9 just had to go to jungle. It gives Emo a full free control of the game, and yeah, I didn't see Brax and Moose able to make moves to invade or anything like that. I felt like they all were actually just farming and hitting creeps on their side instead of actually making plays.
Warm-up game.
It definitely looked different than how I saw J.Storm playing
TNC.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They were so much more adamant about making plays, making moves on the map. This one literally was like, we need to just hit creeps on everybody, which I did not expect to see when they had an Alchemist.
They're like, we won the draft. We can take it slow. And we
yeah,
can go late.
it almost felt that way because
Yeah.
only the Alchemist he's the only one who needs the responsibility of hitting
Yep.
creeps. Everyone else, like, you pick the Venomancer for what? To hit creeps? Because that's not why you should be picking the Venomancer. It was maybe against a lane against an Axe, which is why they opted to send the Alchemist mid versus the TA.
Yep.
But then Axe doesn't care. You're forcing your carry to go between tier 2, tier 3. Yeah, I guess Chen can recall you back to the lane, but that's unnecessary at that
Yeah.
point. Why pick the Veno if you're not going to lane it specifically against the TA?
And I know they did a really cool move, the Roche that we were talking about. They're obviously going to try to go
Yes.
for that, but they did it with just 2 heroes, which
Yeah.
is really, really neat
12
by IG.
minutes in.
It's
With
really nice
Drow
play there.
Ranger watching from a distance,
Yep.
being alive. She has to be alive at least for that to work.
But we talked about the final pick of IG, you know, how they normally save JT's heroes or Emo's heroes for last, and how this was going to put a lot of pressure on Fly. But if you pick him the Drow, his only pressure is just be alive and support the other two, and that's what he did. Like, he did it. He never died actually
didn't
that
die.
entire game. So that is a job well done.
And he's
him and the-
versus a super
a
strong lane, a
Kunkka
Kunkka Lina. I
which
really thought that he was going to get brought
Bane
down.
is a pretty good support, but still, like Kunkka Lina, someone should be dying in that lane.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I saw, I can understand why he would want to, because you have the Chen on your team for the Alchemist, but he went hard.
Oh yeah.
So he's just fully countered by Spirit Vessel, and you're versus Drow TA. This is a massive physical damage lineup, and you have like 8 armor on an Alchemist. You saw what happened. He got destroyed when they
Yeah.
focus fired him.
Yeah, he had to
It
get
was-
the AC afterwards and still skip the BKB the entire time. So
Yeah.
the Vessel was relevant constantly.
It was definitely just a weird way that I saw J.Storm play from what I saw last time, because they were much more hyperactive. This one, I saw them going back to what I like to call the NA Dota. Everyone hit creeps. Your core players are all just hitting creeps instead of making moves on the map, which I don't see them do very often. So
No, that was my first experience of the NA Dota games here. It's like, why
It's
is my
true.
team not
is true.
moving? You got this perfect team fight. I was playing Coddle, of course. I'm a Dota Coddle picker. And it's like, why is my
Well,
PA
this is-
running
this-
away from the fight?
Yeah, I mean, the supports
why?
had the right idea because like Fear was constantly dewarding the jungle. He was like,
Yeah.
"Don't worry, Alchemist, I got you covered." Everyone's like, "Sweet, free jungle."
Yeah,
this is for me, right?
I felt like Fear stacked and did all he could for
Yeah.
9 and 9 farmed, but then I don't want to go super hard on like Moo and Brax and Moose, but Moose is 0-5 and 0 in a pressure lane versus a Drow Ranger, and then they just weren't setting up. They didn't get much of anything in this game, to be
No.
fair. Like when
But
he
if
kills,
you're
but
Lina, at least you got your Laguna Blade. You know, you should at least be able to make one kill, especially when
Yeah.
you have a couple of squishies on the other side.
yeah, but just be more proactive. That was the only
Yes.
thing. I didn't feel like they were being as proactive, where I felt like IG was just like gunning at them.
Now, one thing that was mentioned by the commentary team, lack of stunts on the side of J.Storm. That would be a draft issue. Do you guys feel like that also was like a reason why they just couldn't play the game as well?
I think between Kunkka, Lina, and eventually an unstable concoction, if the Alchemist goes Radiance, Blink, BKB, or BKB first, I guess, in this game would have probably been better. But between those 3 disables, I think you're fine, especially against a Templar Assassin who has to rush a BKB to make sure that she isn't getting burned off with Radiance, or Torrent, or Venomancer and stuff like that. This TA should not feel comfortable jumping into team fights no matter how little crowd control you have.
Yeah, I guess I feel like I didn't see the top lane. I guess that's the biggest. I didn't see
Yeah.
Brax and Moose making moves.
Okay.
Like I can, Moo and 9, like I can actually forgive like what they did with like their farm and stuff like that. But I feel like those two, your Lina Kunkka have to be making moves when you have a Chen Alchemist on your team.
How would Alchemist have done with a Chen lane on against the Axe?
Still think you would have farmed just
yeah,
fine,
I think it
right?
would've been
Yeah.
fine.
I think you still. I mean, you might get the lane's gonna be played totally different then, because then JT's not gonna be cutting. He's gonna be trying to pressure some more. Maybe Kaka doesn't make the same moves that he did either. I mean, it's hard to tell how it would have been.
Yeah.
I think he would have farmed a little bit better just sitting behind a Chen, but
Yeah,
We'll
you
never
just
know.
take
We'll
like
never
a
know.
not sure.
Red Satyr creep or something like that. Just dump him in the Alex lane. You've got the enough sustain, I imagine, that even if you're a melee hero. But yeah, it was just poor lane setups from J.Storm, and then the mid game, everyone was just like, "Oh, we're behind. We need to hit creeps,
Yeah,
not hit heroes."
more
But
proactive Dota from them.
This
so.
is something that is easy to read when you, like, as a coach, you can see what's happening. You know what's you know how the game is supposed to be played, and you know why IG did as well as they did. So
Yeah.
it should be an easily fixable thing going into game number 2 and 13-0-5
It's
for
emo style right there.
Yes.
He played excellent. Like I know we're harping a lot on J.Storm just because they got these super good heroes.
Yes.
IG did play super well.
Yes,
they
they did.
play exactly how they should. They played aggressive, and yeah, Kaka was pretty much just running around in the enemy jungle, always looking for action.
So then is the question now, is Drow TA something to be afraid of? Because we
It's true.
saw
We said
Drow
yesterday as
TA
well.
Yeah, so it was with the Enchantress as
Yep.
the third core on that one.
Yeah.
This time I guess it was a Mirana who wasn't really like a core, but still another ranged hero who can take advantage of the aura. So maybe that's something that other teams need to put Drow back at the top of the first ban list.
Especially if you're gonna have a Deso as fast as Emo did.
Yeah.
Like that's just terrifying. That's scary. You can take the fact that they could take Roche at 12 minutes with 2 heroes.
Mhm.
That's maybe be a little wary
And
of
now
that.
IG's 3 for 3 on their Templar Assassin.
Yeah, and they were ahead in gold even when they were doing the Roche anyway, which
Yeah.
is that's a big concern when you're playing against like the Alcchen lineup and you're like, well, Alcchen is losing in gold versus us. That's
Well, we'll see if it's going to be let through in game number 2. I didn't make that rhyme. That was totally unintentional. But we're going to be right back for game number 2, indeed, of this series in the lower bracket for the MDL Chengdu Major.